individual eco-care, your friend and partner in everything to do with the environment and conservation. Well, today we're taking you through a training organized by Grassroots and Solidaridad. Come along and stay tuned.
There's been a proposal to have it listed as a World Heritage Site. The first attempt was not really accepted, and we were told to go back, and mainly to do consultation. So what is required of us very quickly, according to that feedback, is that we have to really discuss with people and get them to say what they feel. And there are basically two things we've been asked to do. To re-look at the traditional practices of land and natural resources management, and also come up with a management plan. What is quite clear is that our own tradition, our own people, do actually have 400 years of practice which has worked. And when I've listened to what we have heard here, I'm so glad that it harmonizes. Ndugu, I have sent myself to the village. I'm not as privileged as you. I didn't grow up in a village. I'm from Usakire, but I've gone to my people's villages. And what is clear is that the knowledge is actually still there, but people have been disempowered. The traditional structures have been disrupted. Some of the so-called modern adjustments that have been done, the net effect was disempowerment. I'll briefly tell you what our traditional structure is of governance, not just land management, but the whole governance. It starts at the homestead, the family. Then it goes to the village. Then a group of villages have another level called Silalanda. Then above that, there is another level called Silalo. Above them, there are then regional principalities headed by so-called chiefs. One, please. Okay. I can continue, or should I start it? Okay. I'm involved in a project to do a consultancy leading up to contributing to a second attempt to get the Barosi Plain listed as one of the World Heritage Sites. Now, what is required of us in that project is that they want us to describe how the traditional system works, the traditional practices of land and natural resources management. In fact, from our tradition as African, we are very holistically minded. So there is no separated structure that looks after land and natural resources. The same structure that looks after land and resources looks after the totality of governance of our society. Now, simply our structure, our traditional structure, and it's almost the same all over Africa where there's not been disturbed. It starts from the ground up. The colonial system which we've inherited and which we are still sticking in is from top down. So if you look at the Zambian government, there is a president, there's provincial ministers and district commissioners, that's all. So they have offices, they have phones, they have cars, they have their salaries, and they take the bulk of the money just from there upwards. But the people don't, people don't live at districts, they live in villages. Whereas the African traditional system is exactly the opposite. That's why I'm saying the first unit of our governance, and governance includes land and natural resources management, starts with the family unit. Lapa, Mumzi, village. Then a number of villages make another area which we call Slalanda. Maybe in the English system we say a county. Okay. I don't know what it is in Zambia. Okay. But anyway, structures that are building manageable structures, because so your first leader is the individual, the next leader is the head of the family. That is the roots of our governance. Then in the village there is what in English they call village headman. But the village headman is not an individual like a governor, like a president. He is actually a committee chairman of a collective decision-making process. So the decision being made by the village headman is together collectively with the heads of the families in that village. Then above that you have this Lalanda, which also has a head, and his leadership is again collective, composed of the heads of the lower level of organization. Above there is another level, which is we call Silalo. Structured and decision-making processes are the same: collective, consensus-based, and collective. Then above that is where you get the royal heads heading regional principalities. Like we have one at Mwandis, Sheke, one in Naliele, in Kaoma, and so on and so forth. Now above that we have our king and his prime minister. But power starts from the bottom to the top. It doesn't start from the top to the bottom. Decision making starts from the bottom to the top, not the other way around. Now, I've said we have the family, we have the village, and then the very next level called Slalanda. We are discovering that this is the most critical part of our traditional making. In terms of cattle and forestry and so on, decision making, That committee at that level, made up of village headmen and their senior village headmen, is the most critical. And we were privileged that as we are doing our research, we were taping all the submissions. So I wanted my research assistants to play just 2 or 3 minutes of a contribution from one of those Lilalanda leaders who was telling us how it used to be, and warning that they've been disempowered, but they do know what they're talking about. And I thought maybe Ralph was plagiarizing from him, because what Ralph was saying, what my Ndugu here was saying, is I want you to hear it in Lozi, because I think some other people may understand Lozi better. Yeah.
Okay,
We hope you enjoyed that episode where we talked about everything concerning the environment and conservation farming. And if you have any questions that you want to learn about, you can leave them in the comment section of wherever you are watching this, if it's either on our Facebook platform or YouTube platform. We're very interactive and we will respond to your comments. And then we'll connect you to the right people concerning your questions. Stay tuned and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, make sure you share it with a friend and like the page. Catch you in the next episode.